Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. So guys, here with another video tutorial. Okay, so in this video we'll be making a pencil straight dress with side ruffles. Okay, so guys, let's get started. So this is my pattern paper right now, so I'll just go ahead and start taking my body measurement. Okay, so for my shoulder measurement, I'll be using my shoulder measurement is 50 inches plus half inches sewing allowance. Okay, so which is 8 inches right here. So I'll just go ahead and mark 8 inches here as well. This is for my shoulder measurement. Then for my armhole measurement, my armhole is 8 inches. Okay, this is 8 inches right here. All right, so just go ahead now and use my ruler to connect it together like this. So guys, from my shoulder to my bust point is 10.5. So go ahead and mark my 10.5. This is my bust point right here. Okay, so from my shoulder to my waistline I have 17 inches, which is here, right here, 17 inches. Okay, so just go ahead and mark 17 inches here as well. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead and connect it together. Okay, so I've already connected together. Remember, this is my bust point, this is my waistline. Okay, so to get my hip, I'll just go ahead and place my tape on my waistline. Okay, so from my waistline to my hip is 8 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and connect it as well. Okay, so now so guys, I'll go ahead now and take my shoulder to my knee length measurement. Okay, so from my knee length measurement, I'm going to connect it down. I'll minus 1. To get my knee length, I went ahead and placed my tape on my shoulder down to my knee. So that will serve as my knee length and my slit at the back. Okay, and then use my ruler to connect it together like this. I'll go ahead and take my full length measurement. The full length measurement I'm using is 52. Okay, you can use your desired length if you want. So mine is 52. I'll just go ahead and take my full length measurement. Okay, so this is 52 right here. Okay, this is 52 right here. All right, so after marking 52, I will just go ahead and add 1 inches for hemming allowance. Okay, we're making it 53 inches. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and chalk out 53 inches and rule it out straight. Okay. So now this will be my full length right here. Okay, this is my full length, this is my knee length, and this is my hip length. Okay, so moving on to next step. So for the neckline, I'll be marking out 3 inches for the width. Okay, this is the neckline. Then for the depth, I'll be marking in 2 inches. Okay, the front dress will have v-neck, so I want v-neck on my front dress, so that's why I'll be using 2 inches for the depth. Okay, I'll be using 2 inches for the back as well for the depth. Okay, so just go ahead now and connect like this. So remember, this is the 2 inches. Okay, so just mark it like this. If you're a beginner, for you to get the accurate line, okay, just place your curve ruler like this and connect it. You get exactly what you are looking for like this. Okay, so now this is the front neckline and the back neckline. I will be using this one for the back neckline as well, but the front neckline, as I said earlier, I'll be marking 7 inches. Okay, I want the front to be v neckline. Okay, so this is my 7 inches right now. You can use whatsoever inches you want as your neckline. Okay, so after doing that, I'll just go ahead and use my ruler like this to connect. Okay, so this is my front neckline and this is my back neckline. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and drag out my shoulder slant with 1 inches. Okay, so 1 inches shoulder slant, I will connect it to meet the neckline as well, just like this. So after doing that, I'll go ahead now and place my tape like this. Whatsoever I have here, I'll break my tape into 2 and mark my midpoint. Then from my midpoint, I'll go ahead and mark in 1 inches for my curve. Okay, so from this place right here, I'll go ahead now and make a curve at this place, at my armhole. Okay, so go ahead now and make curve like this. So guys, this is all for the front neckline and the armhole. Okay, so moving on to the next step, I'll just go ahead and input my dart. Okay, now I'll go ahead and divide my nipple to nipple point into 2 like this. Okay, from the bust point. Okay, remember this is the bust point, so I'll mark it here as well at the waistline. Okay, so for my hip line, I place my tape like this, then I mark in 2 inches here. So this is where my dart will stop right here. Okay, so I also go ahead now and mark my bust point right here. Okay, remember this is where my dart will stop. I'll just go ahead and use my ruler to make a straight line right here like this. Okay, so now from my waistline, I will go in on both sides by half an inch, okay, like this. So I'll use my ruler for my bust point, then I'll connect it to meet my waistline right here. So I've connected that from my bust point to my waistline. Then I'll also go ahead now and connect from my waistline to meet my dart line, okay, my hip line to my hip line. So guys, this is the dart for the front, okay. So now I'll go ahead now and input my body measurement, okay. So guys, I'll go ahead now and start inputting my body measurement, okay. So my bust point measurement is 9.2, okay, right there. Then I'll have 1.5 inches sewing allowance, okay. So I'll go over and go to I'll go to my waistline. My waistline is 8 inches, okay, right here. So I'll place my tape on my dart area, okay. Now I'll measure whatever I have here. Now I have 1 inches here at my dart area, so I'm going to replace it here like this, okay. Then I will add 1.5 inches here for sewing allowance, okay. So I'll go over to my hip line. I will measure my hip, take my body measurements and input my hip measurements here. My hip is 11.2, then plus 1.5 inches joining allowance or seam allowance, okay. So after doing that, remember this is a pencil dress, okay. So I'll go ahead now for my hip line. I'll minus 1.5 inches from my hip measurement. For instance, if your hip is 10 inches, which is 40, just minus 1.5 inches from the 10 inches, okay. Whatever it gives you, you use it to take your knee measurement, okay. Or you can as well take your knee measurement, so you will determine how tight or wide or free you want your knee to be, okay. You can also decide to minus 2 inches from your hip measurement. If you want it to be so pencil, okay, and tight, you minus 2 inches, okay. But for me, I minus 1.5 inches from my hip measurement, okay. So I'll go ahead now and input my measurements here, okay. This is my knee measurement, and I also had 1.5 inches seam allowance or joining allowance, okay. So from this knee length, I'll go ahead now and use that measurement to mark a straight line or connect it together. So after minusing my 1.5 inches from my hip measurement, so whatsoever I have left, I'll just go ahead now and use it to chalk from my knee length down to my full length, okay. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead now and use my ruler to connect all of them together, okay. So you also go ahead and use your measurement, minus your measurement from your knee length and from your hip, then use it to mark your knee length down to the full length, okay. So I'll go ahead now and connect my bust from my bust down to my waistline like this, okay. Then from my waistline, I'm going to connect to meet my hip like this, okay. So for my hip, I'll connect down to meet my knee length. Okay, so for my hip, I'll connect down to meet my knee length. Okay, so go ahead now and use my curve ruler to connect it like this. If you don't have your curve ruler, you can also use your free hand to connect. So after doing that, I'll go ahead now and for my knee length, I'll connect down to my full length. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and use a straight ruler to connect it like this. So guys, this is all for the full length, and this is all for the front. So I'll go ahead now and cut it out and use the front pattern to cut out the back pattern. Okay, so guys, I've cut everything out except the neck line. Okay, so I'll place it at the back first, then use this front to cut out the back area before I cut out the neck. Okay, so this is all for the front. Okay, it's just one piece. I didn't use half length for this one, just one piece straight down. Okay, so guys, for the back pattern we'll be needing a zipper allowance. Okay, so this pattern is for the zip allowance, so I'll go ahead now and mark out 1.5 inches for zip allowance. Okay, 1.5 inches for zip allowance. So I'll go ahead now and mark it straight down to the full length. So when I after doing that, I'll come and show you guys. So I'm placing my tape at the zipper line. This is where the zip line stopped. Okay, so I'll place my tape here and take my bust span measurement, which is nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, so like this down to the bust point. Okay, like this. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead now and mark a straight line to connect them together like this. So I'll still do the same thing to the back, mark half an inch on both sides. Okay, then use my ruler to connect them from the bust point down to the waistline. So I'll also do the same thing to the other side. So at the down part from my waistline to the hip line, I'll do the same thing to that side. Okay, just like this. So after doing that, I'll go ahead from my waistline. I'll mark in half inches. Okay, this is just to remove the zipper bulge at the back. Okay, so I'll go in by half inches from the waistline, then I'll go ahead and connect it like this to meet the upper part, just like this. Okay, so this will eliminate the bulge at the back. Then from this waistline here, I'll go ahead and connect like this also downward. Okay, So from this center front, from this zip line, this line here, I'll go ahead with half inches also. Then I'll connect to this side like this. Okay, so I'll also connect to this side as well. Now I'll be cutting out this area. Okay, this is where I'll be cutting out on my fabric. Okay, so this will eliminate the bulge at the zipper area. Okay, so this is all for the cutting. Okay, I'll go ahead now and cut it out and use it to cut out my fabric. Remember, this paper is not unfold. Okay, so when you are cutting on your fabric, make sure your fabric is unfold. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the neckline. I'll go ahead and place the front and cut out the neckline.